Hi friends, today I would like to share a flip through the pages of our Bible curriculum, Answers Homeschool Edition. Today we are going to be looking at our second year of Bible curriculum. We're still working on our first year, but I decided to just order the second year and just have it ready for when we finish with our first year. We still have a considerable amount of our first year that we need to finish, but I would like to still have the second one in here for us just to have it ready so we don't have to be waiting for delivery and shipment and all of that. So I would like just to share this flip through the pages with you guys. I will not show everything that we are going to be using for Bible in here because it will take me a long time and I would like to do this video short and sweet. So the first thing that you're seeing is the teacher manual, and it comes with always posters if you buy the package with the teacher guide and the posters. So I will just like to show you guys that, and I opened it already because I couldn't hold myself. If you notice, it's beautiful. So when you purchase the teacher guide, it comes the posters as well. I have two that are repeated, and this one is different because it's the timeline, but these two I have them already. So let's see what I will do with them. And you get a code that will take you to the building blocks. That's when you purchase the teacher guide, you will get this whole set completely, and it will give you access to the memory verses and the building blocks, okay, which give them an introduction to the lessons that they are going to be working with. Okay, so let me just take this aside. I would like to show you now the teacher guide. I like it because it's very colorful as well, just as the student book, and that is something that I really enjoy because usually for some reason some programs don't take in consideration that we like color as well. Okay, so we have here the teacher guide, we have the student book, and the tests and answers. And can we just take a look at these illustrations here because they are gorgeous, beautiful. So let's just start with the teacher guide or teacher manual. So you have the table of contents in here, and hopefully you can see that well. It's a little bit dark in here. And you have the next section for the contents. It's giving you an introduction and a schedule, course description. So year 2 of Answers Bible curriculum for homeschool covers the biblical chronology from the birth of Moses to the Assyrian captivity of Israel. Accounts covered in this course are found in the books of Exodus through 2 Chronicles, Jonah, Amos, and Hosea. Psalms and Proverbs are also covered in this year. Year 2 begins with the study of God's protection and provision of his people, first in Egypt and then through the wilderness years, and as a recognized nation, students will study the true history of Israel leading up to the Assyrian captivity, identifying attributes of God displayed in God's care for his people, learning practical lessons from the victories and failures of Israel, and recognizing how the Old Testament continually points to Jesus. Year 2 chronology includes the Exodus from Egypt, sojourn in the wilderness, conquest of Canaan, cycle of judges, united monarchy, division of Israel, and Assyrian captivity. Other notable accounts include Jonah's encounter with God and Hosea's demonstrations of God's love. You have the curriculum components, so you have the teacher guide, a student workbook, test and answers books, posters, building blocks, memory verse music, which is included with the building blocks. How to use this curriculum is just giving you an explanation in here on how to use it. You have as well the student overview, activity sheets, and review questions, reviewing a lesson plan. So every lesson begins with an overview page to help you prepare your lesson. Read through the lesson focus, objectives, and key passages to become familiar with the biblical text and the main ideas of the lesson. Teaching tips provide ideas for adjusting the lesson content for various learning levels. These may include ideas for hands-on activities, challenges for external research, or visual aids for more complex ideas. Every lesson, excluding review lessons, includes an optional object lesson or introductory activity. These can be used as desired to excite students about the topic or illustrate important biblical concepts. The Prepare to Share section of the lesson is intended to equip you with a scriptural and historical background for the lesson, as well as draw attention to opportunities for apologetic teaching. You may wish to share some of this material with your older students, and I do advise you to do that. I think it's very good if you share that information with your older students, and this is something that can be very well adjustable, customizable, okay? Teaching the lesson is desired to be used with all your students, no matter the age. Older students could read through the lessons on their own if desired, or help you as you teach younger siblings. You might also consider using the lesson as a family Bible study at the beginning of each week. This curriculum is based on the English Standard Version ESV of the Bible, but you may read the scripture verses in any translation you choose. When you come to the instruction to read a Bible passage, encourage your students to find the reference and read the verse out loud. This is a great opportunity to help them become familiar with how to find things in the Bible and to see for themselves what Scripture says. So throughout the lesson, you will come across questions that are highlighted in red. These provide an opportunity to pause and engage your student in thoughtful discussion. Certain words are defined throughout the curriculum. These are generally terms that are used in the Bible or in theological study, but may be challenging for some students. Definitions are given in bold text. If desired, collect these as vocabulary or spelling words, okay? And it's just giving you more in detail what you're going to find with this curriculum. You have as well special features. You have the level K1, level 4 till 5. So this is intended until 5th grade, but I can see an older student using this. I know when it comes to the book, you might find the drawings a little bit childish if you have an older student, but I think it's really good because it's very colorful as well. So flexible elements are the posters, the building blocks, and the memory verses. Grading, we recommend assigning points for correct answers or worksheets, quizzes, and tests. You may choose to assign points for memory verses as well. Optional resources, you have the Answers Family Bible Devotional, you have Books of the Bible products, Answers TV, Answers Online Bookstore. Extension ideas, you have vocabulary and spelling to challenge your student. You have writing, history, and geography. You don't have to do the writing, but if you have an older student, you might want to add that. Scheduling your class. On the following pages, you will find a suggested schedule based on a 36-week year with coursework completed on 3 days each week. This curriculum can easily be expanded to fill 4 or 5 days each week. We encourage you to adapt this schedule as necessary to include Bible memorization, family Bible study, extra review, and any other elements you wish to include. And it's provided for you this suggested schedule, so it's easy for you if you're a busy mom, you have multiple kids, you have a suggested schedule right here. Hopefully you can see that. Typical week, you have a day 1, day 2, day 3. So use the teacher guide to complete the lesson with your student. Have your student complete the study notes in their workbook to review and reinforce lesson content. Day 2, have your student complete 2 or 3 activity pages in their workbook. And day 3, have your student complete any remaining activity pages and answer the review questions in their workbook. On weeks with a quiz, you may decide to do the quiz after the review on day 3 or to allow an extra day for the quiz. On these weeks, you may consider making the review time comprehensive. Review week, you have it here, day 1, day 2, day 3, and this is when you are going to administer the test. And that schedule, suggested schedule, is right here, and for you to be able to add those grades. So you have a few pages of that. And here you can see the first lesson. So you have God calls Moses. God called Moses to lead the Israelites out of bondage in Egypt. You have the lesson focus, key passages, objectives, building blocks, optional introductory activity, teaching tips. What I like about this is that it's giving you the opportunity to select the activities that you want to do with your kids. If you have an older kid, it's suggesting you activities that will be appropriate for your kid, correct? So all those teaching tips and activities are in here in this section. Okay, here is the prepare to share, and this will be for you as a teacher, but you can share it as well with your older kids, and it makes the curriculum a little bit more meaty when it comes to what they are going to be learning, correct? Here is the lesson per se. This is where it's going to start for your kid. So you have the Bible verses in here, some questions for them to answer. Questions appears on this red stripe here, and you can see the lesson. You can divide these by days as it is suggested, or you can stretch these. Usually we do 2 weeks because I want to make sure that he is understanding the information. So 2 weeks for one lesson I think is enough. You have the application section and the comprehension questions, and it repeats all over again. Okay, so here we have lesson 2. You can see here the prepare to share, the lesson for the kids, Bible verses, questions, comprehension questions, as well as the application. At the end of the book, if you notice, at the end, once they reach the end, it increases the material and what they are going to be going through. So if you notice those comprehension questions in here, correct? You can see the appendix. So memory verse list, memory verse games, and lesson review games. That's what you're going to find on the appendix. And it has suggestions for games, and that is really awesome, especially if you have little kids, because it's just giving you ideas on what to do, okay, to make it more fun for your kids. Those memory verse list are the same one that you have, that you're going to encounter on the building blocks. Memory verse games, puzzle pieces, stack them up, word toss, lesson review games, don't touch the floor, and racetrack. Okay, so now I would like to show you the student book, and this is the student book right here. So if you notice, it's just giving them the same information that you have in your teacher guide. Obviously, here is God calls Moses, lesson focus, what you will learn, lesson activities. They have a space to write their memory verse, and it's really good because it just review that for them, and it helps them to just remember what they are doing with their memory verse. Okay, so you have that there. Study notes, some of the activities, and this is all for lesson 1, part of the activities, and then they have review questions. Hopefully the light is helping to have a better view of the book for the student. So you have the lesson 2, again, lesson focus here, what you will learn, lesson activities, and it's giving them a space to check mark once they have done with something. You have to write the memory verse you will be working on this week and practice it each day. If he's still reviewing the same memory verse, I just have him still writing that verse in there because it will help him to remember. So you have the study notes, 10 plaques, more activities, crosswords, fill in the blanks, review questions, and again, lesson 3. Very colorful. That is something that he really enjoys and I really liked as well. Different activities. Keeps their attention going. Fill in the blanks. If you notice, very simple activities. These activities are really good if you have a younger kid, as well if you have an older kid. Some of the illustrations might look a little bit childish, but I think are very good for a kid that still enjoys just the illustrations, the pictures, and the colorful activities. You know, they enjoy having some color in their books. So this is a good book for that. I like as well that at the beginning of each lesson, there's a section where it shows you the objectives, gives you ideas for activities, not only for younger kids, but as well for older kids. And you have the opportunity to go through the review questions. They have the opportunity to do check marks and go through the review questions, which prepare them for the quiz and test that they're going to be taking. Okay, that's it, guys. That's the last page. Now I would like to show you the tests and answers. So here you have the quiz. Quiz 2. So pretty much it's a true or false. Circle the correct answer. Fill in the blanks. Test 1. So test 1 covers through lessons 1 till 17. So it gives them a really good review. This one has a section for questions. Quiz 4, lessons 19 through 24. Quiz 6, 5, 6, test 2. Match each description to the correct person. Circle the correct answer. Fill in the blanks. Some questions and tests and quizzes answer key. And you can see that the answers are in red. Student workbook answer key. So you will find that in this book as well. Let's just skip a few of them. In lesson 36. Okay, so hopefully this gives you a good idea if you're interested on purchasing this program. So here you have the 3 books. So you have the teacher, the student, and the test and answers. And I will show you now the posters. I would like to start with the timeline because this is the only one that is different from the previous ones that I received. So if you look at the previous video, you will see that the rest of the posters are the same. So I will just show you this one. Very colorful as well, this timeline. So right like that. And this is the other side of the timeline. It's a very big timeline, poster timeline. So if you have a good wall, this will be really good to show your kids, or if you have a good dry erase board that is pretty big, you can just add magnets. That's what I usually do. And the rest of the posters are here, and I will not open these because I am not quite sure what I am going to be doing with these. I might give them away, or I am not quite sure if I will add them here on our where we have the desk in our homeschool. So okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed this flip through the pages. I hope it was helpful. If it is, please don't forget to hit like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to give me thumbs up. That's how you let me know that this is the type of content that you enjoy and that you would like to see on my channel. I will see you then. Bye bye.